If we are to think about Avebury and its relationship to water, we should think about this too. This is Silbury Hill, less than a mile from Avebury. It is a mountain that arises from water into the sky. Angry. Are they looking angry? Hello, darling. Who's this? Hello. Hello, sweetheart. You're nervous, aren't you? Let me stroke your head. Stroke your head. Hello, and you must be Killer. Is that your name? And you must be Pillager. Yeah? Where's Tyson? Oh, hello, Tyson. Aren't you beautiful? Aren't you beautiful? She's good cows. Sure. No, don't try and eat my... Do you know what? The health and safety executive ought to come down here and tell you off, I reckon. Do I have a risk assessment? The Kennet doesn't normally go any further than Swallowhead Springs, and from there the river is called the Winterbourne. That is a river that only flows in winter. You can see this name in villages further upstream. It is only the beginning of autumn and this stream is flooding, so I'm going to call it the Kennet. You can see here it breaking its banks, and it is forming new channels that are entirely natural for it when it gets the chance. Here you can see it breaking out of its banks to seek a more natural path in the meadow next to Swallowhead Springs. It is potentially very wet here a lot of the time. Because the meadow is so lumpy, I suspect it has never been ploughed. The Kennet, Cunatan in Old English, Cunetio in Romano British, is a Welsh word probably meaning something to do with hounds. Here you can see me having a middle-aged rant about a concrete pillar marking where a special stone used to be, and the thought processes that went into somebody laying a wreath on it. Just basically sums up England for me in 2024. Sums it up very beautifully. My wife accuses me of being reductive in my thinking, and she possibly might be right, but there's a reason why I do it. It's because I think that reduction is quite true. I think we don't have any written records or any folklore come down from the Neolithic Bronze Age past to tell us what this is about. So our only interpretation is looking at the symbolism of it, treating it like an art object. What is it trying to say? It's a bit like going to the Museum of Modern Art, scratching your head and going, so what is it? You have to break it down. So we have various interesting parts to it. The first thing to be noticed is that it is circular, and that's not insignificant. Circles can suggest ideas, they can symbolise things, mostly completeness, that it is symbolic of human consciousness, of something to strive for, the unified human soul. If it was a square, we would look at it and think it was stable, that it was ordered and controlled. And if it was triangular, we would perhaps think of it as a spearhead, something that would penetrate, that would go in a direction, a vector at great speed, perhaps. Well, we have a circle, so it is perhaps telling us that it is trying to strive for completion, to mirror the horizon. The horizon is a circle too. It is perceived of being a circle. And then we should look at the ditches, the dikes themselves. That when you are digging a ditch, you have to throw the earth somewhere. In which direction do you throw it? If you're making a fort, you would throw the earth onto the inside to make your defences better. But here, they've thrown the earth to the outside. It could perhaps form what the Americans call bleachers, something to sit on and watch whoever it was doing the ceremonies, or perhaps games were played here. Perhaps it reflected sound really well, horns and so on being played. But the ditch at the bottom also suggests that it is something that separates anybody sat on the outside from what's going on the inside, and perhaps even worse, keeps something in, which is a chthonic style of thought. The stones, they have various shapes to them. You could fit them into various categories. I fit them into 3 categories, well 4 really. There are the great big square slabs, the diamonds, and the pillars. And this is partly why my wife calls me reductive, is that the symbolism is pretty clear with at least 2 of those. Now I'm not the sort of interpreter that can ignore things that aren't neatly placed into my theory. So we have the great big square ones, the slabs as well. It's hard to say, it doesn't fit neatly into that very, very simple male and female symbology. Perhaps they are gates. Some people looking at them, including myself, can see faces. There's one down the avenue that I can't help thinking is a shark. But these stones are chosen for their shapes, and they're placed in these positions because of their shape. The designer or the design team or the priesthood, whoever designed it, indicated, no, that stone will go over there and that stone will go over there. It forms a unity of the disparity of the different types. It forms a unity. The 4th type is a smaller stone that makes up the mini circles. There are 2 inner circles, a north and a south one, and these sit within the outer circle. Again, an attempt by our forebears to unite 2 innately opposite principles within one. regarding the small stones, we have the three types. We have the foray, and a third one which takes some interpretation. Well, the only thing I can think of is if we go down the reductive route that I was talking about, then we could have a neuter form, a form that is outside the sphere of normal life. And you can think of like people like kings and priests might fit into that, and other varieties of people. We also have masculine and feminine and neuter within languages, like German, for example, and French has masculine and feminine. In English, we don't have anything at all. It's basically a thing. But it is worth mentioning in the Old English as a masculine, feminine, and neuter, which doesn't all, because I do a subset of Old English in my videos, which is the topographical boundary charters. You won't hear very much about those genders. But bear in mind, thonair is, you'll hear me say thonair quite a lot. That is gendered. And sometimes you hear se and seo, and that, and so on. But this is, so what has language got to do, language gender got to do with this? Something that happened, in Neolithic times. Well, language is pretty much all we have. It's the only thing. Language transmits knowledge. It's a cultural and civilizational thing, which enables us to transfer knowledge into the future, and it so it has to have some sort of significance. But I'm what the Americans call spitting the ball at the moment. So take it with a pinch of salt. All we can do is attempt to interpret. We can never really find out.